Kelly once said that it is better to be feared than loved if one cannot be both. Fortunately for these NBA players, they were loved by their teams and feared by many. Welcome to NBA 10s, where we're talking about the most intimidating NBA players, a countdown of the 10 most feared NBA players of all time.
Can control the whole basketball game just by rebounding or blocking shots.
Ben Wallace embodies everything that people think about when they think about Pistons basketball.
Starting our countdown at number 10 is Ben Wallace, who was a terrifying defender. Despite his 6'9" frame, Wallace's impact was immense, marked by his headband and distinctive fro flowing as he soared for vital blocks and rebounds. A defensive force, he commanded respect and made opponents rethink their strategies. Wallace's determination led to 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards, bringing his career to a crucial moment: the Malice at the Palace incident during a Pacers-Pistons game. This incident highlighted the sport's complexities. Beyond stats, Wallace's legacy reflects his role in prompting reflection and change in basketball. His influence extends beyond the game's tangible aspects, making him a captivating figure in basketball history with an enduring impact.
He was a winner. He was a leader.
Dennis Rodman put on an absolute rebounding clinic.
Best athlete I've ever seen probably in the NBA.
Number 9, Dennis Rodman. Oh boy, where do we even begin with this colorful character? Rodman was more than just a basketball player. He was a living, breathing hurricane of intimidation. Known for his wild hair colors and countless tattoos, Rodman's appearance alone could make opponents uneasy. But it wasn't just about the looks. His defensive prowess was off the charts. He had a knack for getting under his opponent's skin, taunting them and disrupting their game mentality. Rodman's rebounding skills were downright otherworldly, as if he had some secret gravitational pull on the ball. He fearlessly threw his body into the mix, crashing the boards like a man possessed. Offensive players were left baffled and frustrated, wondering how to outwit this basketball wizard.
Great man, he's probably one of the greatest power forwards of all time. So
He's one of those guys that you hate playing against, but you'll love to have him on your team.
I always look forward to that competition and that energy he brings every night, and we want to do the same.
He changes the culture just with his actions every day.
I don't like KG. He's a very mean guy. Jeez, where is the...
There's no love there.
Where's the love?
Yeah. So you can see already he's frustrating him.
Coming in hot at number 8 is the one and only Kevin Garnett, the big ticket of intimidation. Garnett was a walking hurricane on the court, with a fierce intensity that left opponents trembling in their basketball shoes. Standing at 6'11", Garnett was a force of nature in the paint. His trash-talking game was second to none, and he wasn't afraid to get in his opponents' faces and let them know who was in charge. He had a fire burning inside him that fueled his every move, from monster dunks to lockdown defense. Garnett's passion and aggression were contagious, lifting his teammates and electrifying the crowd. He could change the momentum of a game with a single play and would do whatever it took to secure the victory. He was also known for his unique intimidation tactics that would always make you do a double take. Whether it was his signature chest thumping or his relentless pursuit of greatness, Garnett left an indelible mark in the NBA as one of its most intimidating and captivating players.
The bad boys were just no joke. They were an elite team.
They were so physically and mentally tough and so competitive.
Was dependable, reliable, showed up every night to play.
2 of the fan favorites.
Oh, I hated him. And yeah, he carries even to this day. They made it personal. They physically beat the shit out of us.
At number 7, we have not one but 2 intimidating forces from the same team, Rick Mahorn and Bill Laimbeer, the dynamic duo behind the infamous Bad Boy Pistons. These 2 bruising big men were the architects of one of the most feared and physical teams in NBA history. Mahorn and Laimbeer were masters of the art of intimidation, using their imposing presence and no-nonsense style of play to strike fear into the hearts of their opponents. They didn't mind getting physical and were notorious for their hard fouls and rugged defense. Together, they formed the backbone of a team that embraced the bad boy image, and they relished it. They were the enforcers, the guys you didn't want to mess with, and they wore that reputation like a badge of honor. You see, the bad boy Pistons were a force to be reckoned with, and Mahorn and Laimbeer were the architects of that gritty, no-holds-barred mentality. And their legacy lives on as a testament to the power of intimidation on the basketball court.
He was the coldest dude I ever seen with that shit, man. Everybody be talking about these greats. They don't be always mentioning him. He was the shit. Yeah. The shit, man. He'll give it to you any way he wanted to.
You're no one but Larry Bird. Because if you keep it close and he has a chance to win it, he's going to win it.
But Larry Bird would put fear in me and everyone else just like Luka does. And I watched him going, man, this dude is every move Kevin McHale's ever had plus, and he could put the ball in the basket.
At number 6, Larry Bird, the hick from French Lick who could strike fear into his opponents with just a single glance. Now, you might be wondering how a guy known for his sweet shooting stroke and smooth skills could be intimidating. Well, let me tell you, Bird was a cold-blooded assassin on the court. His competitiveness was unparalleled, and he had a killer instinct that made him a nightmare to defend against. Outside of serving up on the court, Larry Legend was also infamous for his trash talk. One of the best examples in NBA history of trash talk was during All-Star Weekend in 1986. Bird was participating in the three-point shootout. Not only did Bird show up late to the pre-contest meeting, he decided to break the ice with 4 bone-chilling words. Who's coming in second? Bird's basketball IQ was off the charts, and he would pick apart defenses with surgical precision. He had an uncanny ability to read the game, making him one step ahead of his opponents at all times.
He affects them in a profoundly negative fashion, completely demoralizes them and strips their heart right out of their chest every time he goes up against them in the postseason.
Well, he's terrifying. Yeah, he really is. Every time he comes down the court, getting downhill, you just know he's either going to get to the rim or he's going to find one of his shooters for a three-point shot.
But just how tough he is to game plan against and play against.
Do you realize the greatness of LeBron James?
At number 5, the King. Yep, you got that right. It's LeBron James, where his combination of size, speed, and skill is enough to give any opponent nightmares before facing him on the court. Standing at 6'9" and weighing in like a freight train, LeBron is a force to be reckoned with. Now, some of you may be sitting there thinking, LeBron? Intimidating? No way! But what makes LeBron truly intimidating is his ability to do it all. He can score at will, pass like a wizard, and defend like a tenacious bulldog. Facing him on a fast break is like trying to stop a runaway locomotive. But it's not just his physical competence that strikes fear into his opponents' hearts. LeBron's basketball IQ is off the charts, and his ability to read the game and make the right play at the right time is downright scary.
Feared the capability of what they were, you feared what they were capable of doing. That's where fear comes from.
Like playing against a Grizzly band. If anything, any fear in you that shows, he's going to expose it.
Locked in. The man come down. You remember he came, shot fake, threw it off the glass, caught it, threw it to the corner. I'm like, bro, what you on?
At number 4, we pay tribute to the Black Mamba himself, Kobe Bryant. Kobe's relentless work ethic and Mamba mentality made him one of the most intimidating players to ever lace up sneakers. He had a killer instinct that struck fear into the hearts of his opponents. Kobe's footwork was poetry in motion, and his scoring ability was simply unmatched. When the game was on the line, you could bet that the ball would find its way into Kobe's hands, and he'd deliver with a cold-blooded shot that left defenders helpless. But what made Kobe truly intimidating was his unwavering confidence. He welcomed the pressure, thrived in it, and often turned it to his advantage. He had that special ability to enter a zone where nothing else mattered except winning. His competitive fire burned brighter than most, and it didn't matter who you were. Kobe was coming for you.
One of the most dominant forces we ever had in our game, along with Shaq. One of the greatest Lakers that ever played the game.
Wilt Chamberlain. If I had that one on my resume, that's a big one.
I always hear Wilt Chamberlain, so he's always there. So
His legend.
To me, you got Wilt Chamberlain.
At number 3, well, it's the legendary Wilt Chamberlain, a towering figure in NBA history. Wilt was a basketball giant in every sense of the word, standing at an astonishing 7'1" and dominating the game like no one else before him. His sheer size and athleticism were enough to intimidate any opponent. He was a scoring machine, known for his unstoppable moves around the rim and his astonishing ability to grab rebounds. Wilt once famously scored 100 points in a single game, a feat that still stands as one of the most awe-inspiring records in sports. What made Wilt even more intimidating was his larger-than-life persona off the court. He was a true showman, boasting about his feats and backing up his words with jaw-dropping performances.
Like the league be kind of fearful of a player or have that much reverence for a player, no matter who has come since then. That was a different feeling when you're playing Mike, because you just knew, like there was such a seriousness and competitiveness and fire in him, and there was a fear with how that was going to manifest itself.
You know what? Since the statute of limitations,
and Orlando won the game in overtime.
What? The statute of limitations up. I was terrified out there.
Were you really?
Yeah.
You just got a MJ?
Yeah.
You gave him how long? For how long? Right when you took the floor?
Oh, the whole game.
Maybe the top player of all time.
He just stands apart from every player I've ever seen.
Michael was a great player, and I just tried to do the best I could against him.
And Michael Jordan, it's almost like a god. Michael Jordan.
Not Michael Jordan.
Number 2 on our countdown, the one and only Michael Jordan. MJ, Air Jordan, the GOAT, whatever you want to call him, his name alone was enough to strike terror into the hearts of his opponents. Michael Jordan's competitive drive was unparalleled. He had that uncanny ability to elevate his game in the most crucial moments, hitting game-winning shots as if it was just another day at the office. His killer instinct and desire to win at all costs were the stuff of legends. Not only was he a scoring machine, but he was also a defensive stalwart. His tenacious defense made it nearly impossible for his opponents to get a clean shot off. He would hound them relentlessly, making them second-guess every move they made. Whether it was soaring through the air for a gravity-defying dunk or locking down his man on defense, Jordan was a true force of nature on the basketball court.
Luckily, I didn't have to guard him very much, but the very few times that I did, it was painful.
He played with such a viciousness. I've watched him put centers to shame.
I think in my lifetime, probably the most dominant basketball player I've ever seen.
Shaquille O'Neal at 325, 350 pounds is the most dominant force I have ever seen on a basketball court.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the undisputed king of intimidation on the NBA court, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq was an absolute behemoth, standing at a towering 7'1" and weighing in like a freight train. When he stepped onto the court, he brought a whole new meaning to the term domination. Shaq's powerful dunks and thunderous slams were enough to make any defender shudder in fear. He was a force of nature in the paint, bulldozing his way through double and triple teams with ease. Once he had the ball down low, there was no stopping him. Defending Shaq was a nightmare for opponents. They would bounce off him like pinballs as he muscled his way to the basket. And if you tried to foul him to stop him, well, good luck. The Hack-a-Shaq strategy was born out of sheer desperation. Off the court, Shaq's charismatic personality made him a lovable giant. But on the hardwood, he was a force to be reckoned with. He was the epitome of intimidation, and that's why he takes the crown as the most intimidating NBA player of all time. So, who's your favorite on this list of the most intimidating NBA players? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more exciting videos.